Law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Simpson.
Here.
Sisson.
Here.
Gibbon.
Here.
Burbine.
Here.
Hines.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
All.
Here.
Thank you. We can all stand for a moment of silence, please, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 1, consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted. And C, approve the city's treasury report for August 2019.
So moved.
Given, second by Mike Sisson.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldridge.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Item 2, approve the minutes of September 3rd, 2019 regular council meeting. Motion by Troy Urbon. Next motion, seconded by
Second.
Hines.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldridge.
Yes.
Simpson.
Abstain.
Sisson.
Abstain.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 3 is for public forum. If somebody wants to address the council on an issue that is not on the public agenda, now's the time, place for it. Mr. Heiser?
Yeah. I was just gonna come up and kind of share with you guys, sorry. As many of you guys know, you guys got a city donation coming out to the museum, and I was just kind of gonna come up and just share with you where that money's going and kind of the progress for the museum that's north of town. I encourage all of you guys to stop out there one of these days and kind of see the progress that we're making. It is slow. If you go out there, it does kind of look like we're still in a disaster zone because we have all the carpet, 30,000 square feet of carpet ripped up. We have all the artifacts that were in the rooms into the hallways. And so right now we're starting on phase 1 of the repairs. And that's in that kind of, if you've been out to the museum, it's that town square kind of area in the back. We're working with Scott Pickle, who was originally from Elm Creek. He's in Kearney now, and he's going to be going in and removing the glue, refinishing the concrete, and then we're also going to make it so it looks like there's a brick walkway in the main town square area. And so getting the town square ready to go. I'm really hoping that we'll have it done by before like that first week of November is the week I'm really pushing for. And then phase 2 will begin the next part of the year, once we get everything done on that side. So, but yeah, I just figured I'd give you an update. If any of you guys had any questions or anything for me.
I hear the coffee's hot. Come on out to the museum.
Yeah, we have coffee breaks every 10:30. We're welcome to come out.
Every 30?
Every 30.
Every 30.
I'll be there.
But no, I just thank you so much for the city donation. It's one of those deals that, every little bit's helping, especially when you're talking about numbers that are in the $50,000 to $100,000, when you're talking these total big numbers at the end of the day. And so every bit helps a whole heck of a lot. So.
Did I see, Micah, that somebody's doing a fundraiser for the museum?
Right now, there's a flood. You can donate if you're wanting to for flood relief at the foundation, and so any little bit helps with that. And then right now, this year we have Give to Grow coming up, and that's going to be our main focus is more on the flood. And I know a lot of people I feel like I'm a broken record because it is. It's just flood, 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 flood. But at that same time, I notice a lot of people, you know, you look at everything out east, you know, they're still hurting, and that's been months. And so even though it's not in the news cycle that we're hearing about it, those people are, you know, we're still struggling and stuff. So it's kind of same thing at the museum, is that, you know, we're not put back together yet, and it's just kind of getting the contractors in there to get working on it, and then, cause when you're talking 30,000 square feet of flooring that needs to get put in, and it's not in a nice empty big room either, so it'll be slow. But I'm really pushing for that first week in November to being done on the first part, and then, whenever he can get started on the second part. So, but no, we appreciate everything that you guys do, and if you have any other questions, I know Simpson has a connection that he can tap on if you guys want any other information.
Around the town square, when it gets done with doing the concrete, isn't it gonna look like bricks?
Yep, yeah.
So it'll look like the bricks downtown.
Be cool.
Dibs in it. Yeah, you gotta get the uneven
Yeah.
Watch your feet.
So, okay. Have any other questions
That's
or
what you
anything?
do at the museum,
Yeah.
Micah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
update.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I will close the public forum then. Item 4, approve street and sidewalk use for a food truck vendor at the City Auditorium on Saturday, October 12th during Fall Fest Extravaganza Craft Show instead of trucks and tiaras. Is that correct?
Yep, so we're gonna do just like, what we wanna do is just like what we did in the springtime, is we have the crafters in there and we wanna do a food truck outside. Score One Smoking wants to bring his trailer in, just like we did, so I'm just asking to block that same corner there right in front of the city auditorium.
And you did this pretty much the same way last year, correct?
Yeah, we didn't do a fall show last year, but they all asked for a fall show, so here I am doing one. We usually it's usually Stephanie and I do a spring show. We've done it 7 years now here, so I decided to try a fall show. Score One Smoking wants to come and have a food truck out front, if you guys will approve us to have it out there.
Any questions from the council?
There were no issues last year as far as that being blocked off. I never heard of anything
No,
anyway, so.
it was great, he sold out of food before we were even done, so I think it worked out perfect having him right
You
there.
park right next to the sidewalk.
Yep,
The
yep, you
people
just, so
come
you
on the
just
sidewalk
literally
and
walk,
order.
he's right there at the sidewalk and you serve right there, so there's no curb issue, nobody has to go up and down the curb there, nothing.
We didn't have to block the street.
Yeah, no, people went around him and I thought it went great, I thought the traffic flow was fine.
I move we approve the request.
Simpson?
Second.
Ben Johnson seconds.
Sisson.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Beerbaumer.
Yes.
Hein.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And what time?
Whatever Scott wants to do like we did last, he's not gonna serve till probably 10 or 11.
But probably block
So, I mean, I would say block by 8, 9 at the latest. I can ask him what time he wants to roll in, and I can let you or somebody know.
Okay.
I think last time we had it blocked by 9, but,
Okay.
but I think he's gonna serve 10 to 1.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Item 5, open public hearing to receive comment on the City of Holdridge 2019-20 fiscal year budget. This is what we've been waiting for months.
Well, I guess on the general fund, in the revenue, there's about a $6,708,000 revenue. Streets is about $3,802,000 for a total. The general street fund has a total of about $10,510,000. Take that, electric is about, and theirs is about 10 million. I'm kind of doing a total
I mean, these are enterprise funds, electric, water, and sewer. The electric's about 10 million, the water's about 900,000, and the sewer's about 800,000, so you have close to 11,900,000, so it's about the same as, you know, our budget's about a $22 million budget, total every department, so. But on the final, if you look on the second page, there is an increase in the expenditures. A lot of it, I think the biggest one was probably police.
About done.
It's spread throughout there. Probably the biggest one is the public buildings. But it's only about 100,000 more this year than last year. You'll see we have a cash reserve of the 13,000, which is better than last year's minus $362,000. And as you can see, that the levy stayed the same. City valuation jumped from 301 million to 323 million. So that was where the big jump was. Now the sales tax, this fiscal year, you know, I've used $1.8 million. I dropped it down to $1.650 million. Becoming just, I don't know. But maybe something will work out.
You've been pretty conservative in the past, that you didn't.
Yeah, this really shocked me. I mean, as far as we're behind last year. I don't know if you contributed it to the Shopko, that's a big number. Maybe Shopko did that, I don't know.
That, and I think ag economy, this is ag.
And maybe people aren't buying cars like they used to. It's in town, but it does mean we can still tax people per year. But the municipal equalization, that's about the only state aid we get anymore. And I think it's from insurance premiums, and it varies something. But ours was, this year was $14,000 more than last year. The total was $251,400. So, like I said, that's about the only state aid we receive. The library, the 3% for the library is in there. There's 3%, which I do every year, wage increase. We did bump up our work comp property casualty, because we got our numbers. Health insurance, we don't know. That's shocking right now. The extra $1,000 in the museum. Other than that, things stay pretty much. There's not a lot of fat. There's a lot of capital improvements. There's probably close, you told them all up, probably close to $3 million.
Randy?
I'm gonna ask Bob,
Okay.
some of the capital improvement money that we have sitting there, can that be used on the ball fields?
Go ahead. In fact, some of it, Randy, or if you look, it might even be in the parks under ball field.
It is, as
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanna say it was like 900,000.
Okay, that's a good start.
I've had some conversations with him, but I haven't got any real good feedback. They seem to be coming along a little faster than they were. What's gonna take time is what they got next, the inside stuff.
Well, we just need to be moving forward on the rest of the project. I think we may end up having to bond some of that.
Well, that's what I'm working on.
I know.
Ball field.
Where are we standing as far as getting, budgeting, dispatch consoles, replacing our,
We still haven't even got our bid. They said it would take 4 or 5 months, and that was probably, 3 months ago. We still haven't got
You
a
did?
bid. I'm looking at probably getting a replacement in 2021. So far, Flat Valley has stuff that can work on it. But
is there any grants available for something like that?
not that I'm aware of.
And we can't,
What?
we can't use that E911.
Now, one of the things that's so frustrating is we have E911 wireless funds, but they will not let us spend it on equipment like that. Which a lot of, when they first started out, they said, here, fill this stuff out. They never gave us any instructions, so probably the second year came along, they finally had a kind of a meeting with all the PSAPs and said, this is what you do and whatever. So we were putting money in the 911 wireless set-aside funds, only to find out that we can't use that for this. And then they said, in 10 years, if you don't use it, we begin to take it away from you. Well, they're only limiting us on what we can use that money for, so it's very limited. And I think a lot of departments have put money in there and then they can't spend it. So I mentioned it to Neil Miller, who's sheriff in Buffalo County, and his word goes a long way. He said he thought that probably would happen, that they would take it away from us, and I would like to see them open it up so we can use it for our console, because to say we can't use it, well, it can only be used on 911 stuff. Well, if our console goes down.
That's kind of part of communications,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and so I'm in hopes that the state maybe is gonna change their mind on some of that, because I think a lot of PSAPs around the state are gonna say, we need to get this changed.
Is that the state legislature saying that? Or who's saying
Public
that?
Service Commission,
Public service.
they had, of course, it was all passed, and so they'd have to jump through some ropes to have those things changed, but I think we need to have that done.
It's kinda
Because
crazy
we're
to
looking
put it
at
in their box.
$250, maybe to $300,000.
Not gonna be a cheap system to have.
Now, we can use 911 funds where we get our $1 landline funds, but the thing is, people are going more wireless. They're only taking 50 cents, and the 911 landline funds are continually go down. So, but we do have funds in there that we can use for our system. But those funds are, continually going down.
But not 200-some thousand. Okay. work with what we've got.
Yeah, so I think we'll see what we can do to make some changes perhaps in the Public Service Commission.
Any questions from the council?
That's why I keep my landline so that dollar goes.
Yeah, I have mine.
Any other comments? If not, I will close the public hearing. Item 6, authorize an additional 1% increase in restricted funds to the City of Holdridge 2019-20 fiscal year budget. This is something we've done for quite a few years.
We've done it every year. You get a 2.5% increase. With a supermajority vote of the council, you can increase it by 1%, which is 6 votes. And we got 7.
With cost of wages, with the cost of benefits going up, insurance, with, everything's going up. This is just trying to keep our head afloat. Need a motion to authorize an additional 1% increase.
I'll make a motion, we authorize an additional 1%.
Mike Sisson.
I'll second.
Troy Erbaum.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Pine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Item 7, approve the City of Holdridge 2019-20 fiscal year budget.
So moved.
Aldrich, motion, second by
Second.
Simpson.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Pine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 8, consider the first reading of ordinance 2430 appropriating monies for the various funds of the City of Holdridge for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2020.
Do you have anything you want to say?
I'm just gonna say this ordinance, the council's given authority to spend the money appropriately to each department, what has been budgeted.
First reading, ordinance 2430. An ordinance appropriating the sums of money required to defray all of the necessary expenses and liabilities of the City of Holdridge, Nebraska for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2020. Specifying the objects and purposes for which such appropriations are made and the amounts appropriated for each object or purpose. Specifying the dollars to be levied for each object or purpose. Providing for the certification of this ordinance to the county clerk of Phelps County, Nebraska, and describing the time when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the City of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion approved first reading.
I make a motion, we approve ordinance 2430, first reading.
Mike Sisson, second by Gibbons.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Pine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
This is where we need the supermajority. This needs to be approved before the end of the year. We need to get it sent into the state. We need to suspend the rules.
We need to approve it tonight.
Yeah.
We don't have till the end of the year.
We have to suspend the rules.
That makes a motion to suspend the rules, second.
I'll second.
Troy Erbaum.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Pine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2430. An ordinance appropriating the sums of money required to defray all of the necessary expenses and liabilities of the City of Holdridge, Nebraska for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2020. specifying the objects and purposes for which such appropriations are made and the amounts appropriated for each object or purpose, specifying the dollars to be levied for each object or purpose, providing for the certification of this ordinance to the county clerk of Phelps County, Nebraska, and describing the time when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion approved.
So moved.
Ben Johnson, Larry Gibbons. Somewhere in that.
That'll work.
It works.
I have motion Johnson, second Gibbons. Aldrich,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
And that was the final reading? Okay, good. Motion carried. 9, adopt resolution 2019-09, establishing depositories for city monies in various funds of the city of Holdridge for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2020.
You just have to do a resolution, maybe what banking institutions you use, where you put your money. We basically use it.
I move that we adopt resolution 2019-09.
I'll second.
Mike Sisson, seconds.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Now you can breathe.
You've been very nice, very happy.
Item 10, this was tabled last time, approve ordinance 2429, conveying real estate owned by the city or by the city of Holdridge to Monty M. Schultz. Monty come in, I think, the very next day and signed the papers to buy the real estate for $5,000. That would be north of the General Glass. Been vacant for quite a few years. There's no clear title to it. He's well aware of that. The city can quit mowing it.
First reading, ordinance 2429, an ordinance conveying property owned by the city of Holdridge to wit. Lot 4, Block 32, Holdridge First Edition to the city of Holdridge, Phelps County, Nebraska. Setting the terms of said conveyance, providing for the severability of all parts hereof, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and designating the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion approved first reading of ordinance 2429.
So moved.
By Gibbon.
I'll second.
Second by Troy Urbach.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Is it the council's wishes to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion, we suspend rules.
Mike Sisson makes the motion, second by
Second.
Ben Johnson.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Final reading, ordinance 2429. An ordinance conveying property owned by the city of Holdridge, Nebraska to wit. Lot 4, Block 32, Holdridge First Edition to the city of Holdridge, Phelps County, Nebraska. Setting the terms of said conveyance, providing for the severability of all parts hereof, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and designating the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdridge, Nebraska.
Motion to approve final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Simpson, Aldrich, second.
Sisson.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Burbine.
Yes.
Hines.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 11, approve bid specification and contract document for the paving of Gaston Street.
I had Luke Dutcher coming this evening, but I think I don't know if I told him he changed it to 6 or not. So he's probably on the road over here. I'll have to call him on his cell phone saying we're done. But he had Miller Associates had every indication of being here, for if there's any other questions that I could not answer. But it's gonna be out for bids, tomorrow, open bids on October 8th. I did not provide the consultant estimate, just a standpoint, so we had a general idea to keep it quiet, see what the bids are then. But if I do have it, if anybody's interested, I can tell you in my office downstairs. There is, approximately 7 or 8 driveways, which is gonna require some culverts and whatnot for the drainage part of it. We did include the return for the possible industrial site to the west. We did include that driveway also. But it's just...
Pretty wide driveway for that one?
Yes, it is. I don't remember how wide it is for sure, but it's a little wider driveway than normal. And then it's 9-inch thick concrete, no curb and gutter. Be something similar to what we did on 18th, East 18th.
There's not really any utilities that need to be done with this.
No, I don't
It's
believe
just
so.
Strictly paving.
Yes, and they're anticipating going about the same height as it is now. Sorry. That's a big word.
You almost screwed it up.
But they're trying to go about the same height as it is now, so there shouldn't be a lot of dirt work and a lot of shoulder work either, so.
Cool. Kind of a straightforward project then.
Yes, sir.
Be any wider than the gravel road there?
No, it's to be about the same with 2-foot shoulders, and then also, just lost my total train of thought.
That big word got
About the same.
Yeah, I did.
Be about the same width even.
Yeah, about the same width, but an anticipated, I believe, my May 31st completion date or 1st of June, someplace in there. Unless we have a spring like we did last year, and then it won't get done probably till fall.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've talked to him, Kim, did you talk to him about, we need access to our west side at all times?
Yes, they have that information also.
Any questions about the bid specifications?
I move that we approve the bid specifications, contract documents.
Randy makes a motion, seconded by
Second.
who?
I'll second.
Hi, Jason. Oh, I was wondering if I'm gonna hear from Jason tonight. Thank you.
Oh, he's earlier.
Simpson,
Number 2.
Simpson,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Burbine,
Yes.
Hines,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aldridge.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now time for open discussion. Bob, do you have anything else to add?
No, I've already opened up. I don't really have anything else.
Yeah, cool. Dave?
I think we referenced what Bob said, that we had figures from Coke this time, our new agent for our insurance. And those figures were in your packet, so if you want to go through, so there's a slight increase, but nothing that we didn't anticipate.
And we raised some of the limits.
Yeah.
That had a lot to do with the raising of the premium. Cybersecurity is gonna be a big thing. And they know that it costs much.
Yeah. Anything else, Dave?
Yeah, that's it.
Chief? I think, I've heard the police radios are ordered, the new police
Oh, yeah,
radios.
they've been ordered and done, though, we're
Cool. Okay. Go ahead.
Nothing?
Jason?
Nothing.
Dan?
We had an apartment fire the other night, and it looked like it could have got pretty bad, but our fire department did a great job on it and got it under control. And so I just wanted to give props to the fire department. They don't get a lot of credit, and they kind of work behind the scenes, so I just wanted to give a shout out to them. They do a great job for us.
Middle of the night, and
Mm-hmm.
could have got pretty ugly there, but
Were all those tires in that building?
I don't.
They weren't, they were along the side.
Holy cow.
We had contacted the guy to tell them to be getting them moved, and I think the fire department then got them moved, and I think most of them are out. Today I stopped by and the guy had moved them on.
they would have got started.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'd been pretty ugly.
Where was that at?
Sixth and
1300 block.
1317.
Block, Sixth
just
Avenue.
a block west of Lincoln.
Right across from daycare.
Daycare.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those rental
Cindy
properties
Wilson.
along there.
Jamie
Jamie
Hayes.
Hayes' Reynolds, Barney.
Really? Luckily,
Yeah.
only one person
Too
was
bad I
living
didn't
in
have
it.
Yeah,
Or-
glad they put it out.
So, good point, Ben. Well done. We had one fireman got a little injured,
There was one person in the house when it started?
and she called it in as a fire.
Yeah, so there was only, yeah, and they were out, so there was nobody in. When it was called in. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Randy?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Doug?
I want to thank Bob and Mary once again on the budget work. They do a lot of work on that. It's really appreciated because you make it easier for us as far as dealing with it. Yeah, I know Mary's the
does.
brains behind the operations.
Mary does, he just doesn't wanna get up there and talk. Give me those numbers, Mary.
Another little thing that, I was in Norfolk last weekend, and my brother lives up in the north end and walks, they've got kind of a lake deal, kind of like our North Park almost. And he mentioned when he goes for his walks, every 2/10 of a mile, they've got a little marker that tells you how far you're walking as far as to gauge, you know. Kind of sounded like a cool idea, you know, maybe to implement something like that. I don't know what it, as far as, you know, like walking around the North Park, I don't know how far that is, or.
We've thought about that before, but then which direction are you gonna
Yeah,
start
that's,
walking?
I was trying to think through it because there's a couple, you know, shortcuts as far as cutting across.
Because we thought about doing that on Lake Seldom out south,
Yeah.
because you could actually do that both ways.
Yeah.
You know, from the
Yeah.
south or north, either way. And so that is one, we thought about doing it out there, but not in the park because there's just so many,
Yeah, I was trying to think through,
you know.
you know, but like I say, there's a couple different ways you can go, but I thought that was kind of a neat idea as far as people trying to gauge how far they're going.
How was it marked?
That's
Is
what
it
people don't have.
Was
I
it
know.
implanted in the sidewalk?
No, they've got posts on theirs that go by 2/10.
The post, so
Yeah, every
kind of have to
2/10.
mow around the post.
Yeah. I didn't go down and look at it, but he was telling me,
You didn't walk it?
no, he said it's 1.8
Right.
miles. And we'd been someplace to where I wasn't quite gonna walk that far.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Sounds good.
That's all I got.
You're off.
Mike?
No, sir.
All right. Rod?
I went to a labor law seminar last week put on by Klein Williams out of Lincoln, and it's kind of amazing all the new lawsuits that employees sit around and think about. Hopefully we'll recognize them when they start. That's it.
Nothing, sir.
Kim? Kim, tell us a little bit about what's going on in Veterans Memorial there. That's kind of,
No. Well, it seems that when the well house was demolished, majority of the bricks were pushed into the cavity that was there. And Scott was in today, and they are having a heck of a time trying to get the footings down to the correct depth of where we need to go. We need approximately about 48 inches to go down, so we can build a base back up, and then put the footings on the base for where there's stones. I've talked with Dudley Cardell. I need to get with Doug Stevenson and meet him down there again, and to see how our depths are and whatnot, to get this foundation secured and solid enough so they can pour their footings on top of it, so.
It's a lot of concrete wall,
It's-
pretty
it's-
solid wall,
It's a pretty good mess down there now.
steel
so.
reinforced and everything.
You did it right back then.
Yeah, if you sit on top of it just right, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that should have, that would have been fine.
Mary? Can't
Mayor?
imagine that.
I'd just like to say over to citizens, we're very happy you started pouring the alley like this afternoon. I guess it's supposed to be done the other week, I guess, but,
That's been quite a project.
Don't drag on it.
well, we haven't tried it.
There's a reason it hasn't been done until this year.
Well,
That was a big project, and we,
well, I wouldn't mention, I wouldn't like to point, I'm just gonna say thanks for.
yeah,
I think everybody, your crews have been really cooperative with us, helping us, whatever.
Well, thank you. That's good to hear.
So, but we're just happy it's gonna be,
it'll be a nice improvement.
it will be, yes, it very nice.
That. And I've had Kim put into your packet the project cost estimate of East Street paving. I think this would be a good time to couple that up with Guston Street. If we get somebody to come in and, bid that, they got the equipment already here. So maybe we can talk about that, look it over, and we'll talk about that later date. I think that needs to be done if we're gonna build housing, new subdivision there. We don't want a mud street. I don't know when the last time we gap paved, force paved the section, been quite a few years. But we can connect.
Don't you think we ought to wait and find out if they're gonna start building or not before we do that? I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on and not much action, that's why I was,
Seen some flags over there, but nothing else really.
yeah, and they've been there for quite a while, so.
Ron Tillery said everything's costing more now. Well, yeah, I presume, but what's best for the city? It's been a mud street for years. If that's something that we need to do one way or the other. So I just had that put in the packet, and then we can assess the property owners.
And if they don't pay,
It goes on the county assessment. The one, Messner said he would pay for that, his assessment, we have that in writing.
No, we don't.
No, it's not right.
It's not right.
Verbal. It's in our minutes, but.
council asked that this be part of that project before it was ever okayed. That East Street needed to be part of this project from the beginning.
And
it
that's
never
what
happened.
that's what we're trying to address.
Council asked for a lot of things to be part of that project first, that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this would be easier, well, it'll help that neighborhood a lot.
No.
Baby steps.
Yep. Just put that under the back burner. Nothing else? This meeting's adjourned. What, chief?
One more thing, I was gonna say Coffee with the Cop, October 2nd, 4th Avenue Coffee, from 9:30 to 10:30. Should have told you that, I'm sorry.
Second?
I had already